In our first episode, we went up the creek on the banks of the Breda River, picked some vasa blommenkies for lunch, went down to the mouth and made some breakfast for the boys, cooked up a late afternoon potjie for 30-odd friends, and then that night set the bar on fire. I have to ask myself, when did life and food become about instant satisfaction? About self-service TV dinners, the 15-minute microwave roast chicken, chocolate mousse in a box, money for love and love for money, instead of the sublime importance of friendships, of weekends away, sunshine, and the great outdoors. So now all things aside, welcome to Cooked, to my life. What we're looking for is a victim at 6:30 this morning. I could still hear some sort of heavy metal going on and noise and things. And when I managed to get to the bar, they were all gone. But someone was up the whole night. I suspect it was Bo. Definitely wasn't me. Good morning and welcome to episode 2 of Cooked. Due to last night's late night shenanigans, some of our crew got a little bit wasted. I think we have to punish the person responsible with a little bit of a South African Bloody Mary. Gordon.
Good morning, everybody. Here we come with a nice Bloody Mary that we're going to be making. I think we need some vodka, which is back over there.
It's our hippie chicks. You look like you were one of the comments last night.
There we go, we'll make a nice little double, half of that. Because there's a whole process here, of course, you've got to go through the schematics of things. A little bit of a nice lemon squeeze there. Some pepper going.
Tabasco. Yeah,
we are going to make it nice and spicy for you both, young man. There you go.
Worcestershire.
Good Worcesters. Well, then, important to mix it up quite good. It's all going there. You ready for this, young man? Round number 2. And then, of course, last but not least, we come in with a delicious egg. Thank you very much. This is a good old South African part here. Oh, we just wanted to watch it. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. Get the little goodies here, nice and snotty, you know. And in you go.
Oh, Bo.
Sorry, did you get that right here?
Bo, come here, my boy. Looks very nice. Like a smiley face. Oh, Bo, why don't you just slick it all back for us? Chin chin. Here is a dog for Bo. Non-stop, 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 non-stop.
It's a gluggle all the way.
That's a stop.
That's the egg.
He hit the yolk.
He hasn't hit the egg yet.
This is no yolk, young man. Go for it. Oh, it's getting messy. Well done.
Here's a dog.
Did the egg go down?
Nice one, my friend. Hopefully that sorts you out for the rest of today.
Big smile.
So now listen, we're on our way out of here. We're going to go up over the Trudeau Pass into the
Look, you got things on your
R62.
nose too.
Huh? Oh, you got little stuff on your nose, bro. We're going to head up the R62 past Ronnie's section up through Ladysmith into Calitzdorp, where we're going to have a little bit of an R&R time after last night. So come along for the ride. I don't know whether I should be thanking you for last night. Let's go, guys! Run! So we're just stopping off quickly to grab a bit of herbs for the picnic day down from Rich, who you met last night. So what do we got, Rich? Some parsley. You're not very good with
that's
herbs.
parsley.
Okay.
Italian parsley, normal parsley.
Let's grab a little bit of everything. Some flat leaf parsley, yeah? Right, so when are you going to join us?
I think I'm going to see you maybe up at Terry's place
Come to Adelaide.
in Adelaide, yeah.
Ali, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Oh, nice one.
Okay, good
Thanks,
luck.
Rich.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, eh? Enough for
Not
you.
the last time. Bring your tequila legs. There will be a revenge. Not tomorrow, not the day after, but soon come.
Now, it's always sad saying goodbye to some special friends, but we've still got like another 27 days on the road. We've got to head up the Trudeau Pass, which links Swellendam with the R62, Barrydale, Ladysmith, and Calitzdorp. And yeah, it's a groovy day, man. Now, on a road trip, a picnic is a very important thing because it means you can stop off at a spot that looks grand and make something from last night's leftovers while taking in some awesome, awesome scenery.
It's bruschetta, and we have no garlic. So, the garlic bruschetta is now going to turn into a bruschetta tomato, because that's it. What else can we do? So I think we found a spot there, Dale, a little bit out of the wind, and at least we can get to watch what everyone's doing in the background too. $50 to the first one who swims. I couldn't think of a more sweet spot to be for a little picnic out in the thing with him. You have to look at her. Isn't she looking gorgeous? Any case, what we're going to do now is use up some of the stuff we made up yesterday, starting off with Rojni's beer bread. So I just need to cut a couple of slices. And I forgot the knife. And we don't have the garlic. But that's what's nice about a picnic, because you don't need all those things to make it. You just need your company of your mates. I'm just toasting it up a little bit, and we make it nice and crunchy so we can rub some tomato in, a little bit of olive oil, cut up some springbok, which is the one we've got left over from last night. Oh, this is perfectly rare, so we just want thin little slithers for the guys. I asked you to remind me about the bread, Dale. You see that? This one's Dale's, by the way. We're just going to pour a little bit of olive oil on, just to get a little bit of a flavour from it. And we're just going to rub some tomato in. And just like all over, just scrunch it in so that the juices from the tomato run into it. Just so it's a mozzarella straight, not too flavourful, but just that the guys have got a little bit of something more substantial. Some of our beautiful springbok carpaccio. Then we've got a little pork sauce that Francis made. And just drizzle, so I don't need a lot of it. A little bit of the beautiful coriander that we picked in Richard's garden. Bo, come have a sandwich. By the way, that'll be $50.
That's $50.
It's cruel.
Now, in case you missed the first episode, we're in Africa, the southern part, and in this episode we're going to be travelling from Breda River up to the Calitzdorp Spa in the Karoo. Now, considering this is our second episode, I reckon it's time for some introductions because you've got to get to know everyone. That's Tanya, Gordon and Em, Bo and Cassie, John Sebastian Usongo, and Robbie and Jason. We're cruising through the Karoo, a once marshy dinosaur playground. And yeah, this is the open road.
What's it doing, bro? Did you have a late night last night?
White as a sheet, man. Look at it.
Lord forgive me.
Too much tequila last night.
Yeah, too much tequila, I told you. Stop drinking.
Malibu.
Come
Run.
Let's go, my friend. Waste our time. Let's go.
Now, we're travelling in the Beast, a bus that turns a 6-hour journey into a 12-hour journey. We've been on the road all day. The friends are getting hungry, and we've got to find a spot somewhere here to make some lunch. By the way, lunch means they help me make lunch. And this spot looks grand.
I had an epiphany today that when you're doing a road trip, you can actually do whatever you would like to do. It doesn't matter where you stop, where you stay, how you stay, where you sleep. You can actually do anything. And the same thing applies to me when we're in the middle of the crew. We can cook whatever we'd like. So to that end, Fran,
Yes, Fran, please.
is going to do a little rose petal ice cream for our kids on that side over there.
Basically, I'm going to do like a custard-based ice cream. Basically means that you make a custard and then from that you just flavour it with whatever the hell you want. Today we're doing rose petal ice cream. We're going to make about 2 litres of ice cream. And so yeah, 2 litres of liquid, you've got a litre of cream and a litre of milk. And then what you need to do is just get it scalded and heated basically. So while that's going, we're going to make our little ice cream custard. We've got about 12 egg yolks. Making ice cream is so easy. I wouldn't say it's cheap as chips, but it's dead easy and really, I mean, it's fun to make. Okay, so what we've got here is about 12 egg yolks. And then what we do is we've got about 400 grams of sugar over here, just to sweeten it. And then all you got to do is sort of whisk it together. It's going to become like quite a thick paste. This is like making your basic custard at home. In French they call it crème anglaise, but I mean it's really thin custard. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. It's all gooey and sticky. And then we just have to wait for our cream to scald. After a while, when the foam has disappeared and you can feel like it's just thin custard, then you know it's really worth the wait. And it's a very simple custard that's going to bake until it's nice consistency and all the white on top, because you can see it's raw now. A lot of this sort of foam, and that tells you that it is raw. And we've got to cook it out, and then we can flavour it right now. We've got some really nice rose syrup over here. It's rose petal syrup. It's bright pink, and I don't want to make it look too kitsch, so it's going to add a little bit for colour and for taste there. It's going to almost come out like a peachy cup. Okay, we can switch off now. Seems to be ready, and then what we can do is we just cool it down completely and freeze it, because if you don't cool it down properly, then the steam sort of forms like water crystals and it's going to be a bit crunchy. Cool it down properly and freeze it, so that's what I'm going to do right now.
Okay, Francis cooked up a little bit of ice cream for the children in the parking lot and watching us, and I'm going to do a quick little risotto with something interesting and different flavors and things, just because, yeah, we really can, and it's a road trip, and I want to spoil my friends a little bit, so it's like really easy and straightforward. So I'm just like going to get it going really quickly. I'm going to cook both of them at the same time, so because they take similar things and so on. So we're going to start off with lashings of butter, because I don't really believe in using other equivalents. I like to taste all those flavors. First thing it's got to do is melt that down. And then we're going to add sort of this beautiful risotto into it, and half into each one, more or less. And you're going to cook them both al dente, so it's going to take about half an hour of stirring. We're going to probably put it into a couple of minutes just to show you that it happens, but it does. It takes about half an hour. And if you come across this side, Dale, what we're waiting for it to really start happening is when the butter finishes melting out, it starts boiling up and goes all creamy on top. And that's like kind of when you know you're ready to start adding stock. See how the butter's boiling on top? That's what we're waiting for. John, won't you come open this for me, my brother? You do that there, huh? I don't know, I hope one of these works for you, huh? Just do your best, my friend. John, where's that? Where's that from?
In Congo.
Sorry, the problem is that you need to actually break into the eye, so because all the rest of it is hard, you can either like whack it open or just make a little hole in it. You want something like a needle so that he can screw it in. There, you hear that? In this one, I'm just going to be adding John's coconut, which is the burnt one. Okay, John is ready to pour.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, my brother. Now, what happens is that if you take a look at the difference between the two, these are going all golden, and the one on this side is still just pale. Okay, John, so why don't you keep adding for me and stirring here, and only a little bit at a time, as fast as it'll absorb it. Fran, I need a bit of a hand here as well.
Well, I got ice cream first.
Okay, do that for me, and as soon as you can, let me get you to help me here, because kids first, I'll have the second taste. So now the garlic's going to go in both of them. And just a bit of a flavouring. You want it to be absorbed into the risotto along with the butter. And what we're going to do is add a little bit of vegetable stock, which is something I made with some butternut, some sweet potato earlier today. And I'll show you in another episode how to make it. Now the trick with risotto is to add it a little bit at a time. Now that's the one risotto, now I'm going to do the other one at the same time, so follow me guys. Okay, John, add a little bit at a time. When it gets absorbed, add in a little bit more. Okay, like that, you're on it. I need one more man. Rich, come give me a hand. I need you to be handy on this side while I chop. Richard, so as this dries up, add a little bit more at a time. Only when it's absorbed. John, you're on it, hey, doing the same thing, huh? Because you guys have to do that for me while I do the next step of it. Okay, so this is the butternut one, guys. So what we're going to do very quickly is we're going to chop up stuff. We need just butternut that we can shave off. This is Francis's idea from the first episode. What we're going to do is start adding here. Rich, got to add more. Yeah. I need one more hand in here, someone else. Wesley, come. You keep peeling that in there for me. Then I need a little bit of sweet potato. Are you on this, guys? Are you on it? And again, we're just going to peel it quickly now because everything happens at the same time. Okay, Wesley, start a little bit on the sweet potato. Same process. Just keep putting that in. And the shavings are going to disappear completely. You won't even see those later on. Now, the great thing about cooking like this, the minute you start involving your friends, is they figure out how the risottos work and things, and the combination. Then what we're going to do is add this ginger into it as well. We're going to add a little bit of hot chili, seeds and all, and you'll discover with me I love my chilies. And just throw it in. I mean, it's still bubbling up. Now I want to see the difference between John on his own and two guys working together. Look at this risotto and how it's starting to develop. Okay, Rich, I want you to stop adding for a moment and just see how it thickens up, and then we're going to have to start tasting very shortly. What we need is a couple of these porcini and my home-dried pine rings. Now, these are the babies. I dried them in front of the fireplace, and they've developed a smoky aroma, which I think is going to be transferred across to this perfectly. I'm just going to chop these up. And yes, you can just throw them into a meal. You don't have to make them swell up first because it's going to happen in there. I want you all to take a little look here as well. Thank goodness Richard's also an adequate cook. I think a little bit more, huh? Yes, and I think it's about tasting time here, huh? Got a while to go still, huh? Just a splash of lemon. Do it this way up, because then you get the juice and not the seeds going in. Now, just a little bit of a recap in case you've missed the whole thing. So it's a straight risotto, butter, garlic. The shavings of butternut, sweet potato, and butternut stock. That's all it's been so far. This side, risotto, butter, garlic, fresh coconut water, a bit of coconut milk, chili, lemon juice, and we're kind of getting there now. How are we doing, Rich?
It looks good to me.
Smelling good, huh? Now, there's two parts to a cooking show. Both of them are very important. One is, and the most important one, and the most important one, obviously, is that it tastes good. I'm not really perturbed by what it looks like. And that's the problem with risotto. Sometimes it looks like a little bit of a... But the taste is what's really important. Then all we need is a little bit of curry paste in here, just a splash. Richard has now taken over the cooking job. He's going to pour some white wine into my food. Sharp, eh? Sharp. Over here, you can see what's happened with the sweet potato and the butternut. They've melted away completely from what they were early on. And I switched it off on purpose, John. The pot gets so hot that it cooks too fast. So I turned it off for a couple of seconds just to let it mellow a bit. So I'm going to leave the guys to finish up what we started. So what I've just got to do now is cut a little bit of ostrich carpaccio. And this is a beautiful fillet, and all that we've done is frozen it up. You don't have to seal it, you don't have to anything it. We're going to add that to the risotto just to complement those flavors. So, as you can see, it's still frozen. Just now it'll be beautiful, but I love raw meat. And possibly I'm a little bit cooked. So guys, now we need a little bit of coconut shaving for our risotto to finish it off, to give it that little bit of color and that texture as well. So, and all we need is a segment for Francis.
Cool. All right, let's finish this up. Okay, we've got the butternut risotto. Butternut shavings, sweet potato chips, carpaccio. Yeah, so we've got the risotto there. Fresh coconut, we've got our spring onions, a little bit of lime, fresh evo.
So what we're going to do is take Gordon away for a little birthday surprise at the Calitzdorp hot spas, and we're going to hang around in 50-degree water, more or less, and soak up some good energy. So see you later. Our dinner we made.
Can I have a taste? This is wine.
Who tastes
What I
the wine?
can taste.
Thank Richard for that. What we didn't get around to doing, because we were busy feeding kids and having a little bit of a jaw looking after ourselves, was eating our own ice creams. So these, I'm afraid, are not for you and I. These are for Dale and Danny. So, I don't know how you guys do this. But you film it now and you eat it. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's Friends ice cream.
There we go. Hello. Nearly knocked us over.
Cheers, brother. Cheers, Gordon. The truth of your age comes out now.
Thank you.
So this was a little bit of the surprise R&R I had for everyone at the Calitzdorp spa. In water that's close to 40 degrees. It's one of those beautiful clean the stars are just dark. And just to let you know, this is the end of episode 2 and we're on our way down to Buffalo Bay tomorrow for a little bit of intrepid backpacking at the wild thing. To the wild side, I can never remember. Oh, cheers. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Sure.
Can't get them up. So all things aside, welcome to a little bit of cooked. This is medium rare. In France. I'm doing a Dale, man. Now, Richard had a bit of a wine to it. Oh, a bit of wine. Richard had a bit of a wine. I don't want to do it again. To epitaph.
Lying